Star Wars. Do I need to say much more? I don't think I do. But I will.
Make that big boss less special. It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level.
So, Keegan here from Level 2 Gaming, kind of giving you my first impression on Star Wars Battlefront, the beta. I did play for about an hour. I played Drop Zone and Walker Assault, which are the two modes that are released. I didn't do any of the single-player missions or survival mode. I'll probably get to that later, but I wanted to get my first impressions of the multiplayer since that is kind of the big aspect of this game. And I just have to say, this game looks freaking gorgeous. Like, absolutely amazing gorgeous. You're probably saying, cool, Keegan, it looks good, but how does it play? Well, I'm here to tell you, if you've ever played any first-person shooter, you're going to be in love because it feels like a glove, especially if you played Battlefield. One of the questions I've been hearing a lot and seeing a lot on the forums is, how much does it feel like Battlefield, or is it a Battlefield clone with Star Wars skin? And I'm kind of here to say yes and no. There are moments that you can clearly tell it's made by the same people who did Battlefield, and it's got that feel to it, just that first-person shooter. But there's so much more to that. The ambiance of the Star Wars universe being in this game is incredible. Incredible. By that, I mean just the environment. There's TIE fighters that are burned down. There's walkers that are burned down. You can tell you're in the Star Wars environment. And what really kind of sets this game over the top, in my opinion, is the sounds. You feel like you're inside of the Star Wars universe. Give an example. The blasters from each side for the Rebels and for the Empire have different sounds to them, as they should when you fire them. It should have a different sound because they're different guns. And each sound within each one of those, so the Empire, I think, have 3 or 4, and the Rebels have 3 or 4. I can't remember exactly the numbers. But each gun sounds differently, as it should. The cool thing I really like with this game is the fact that when you do shoot somebody, you get a little symbol saying, hey, you've shot them, because it can be kind of tricky seeing people. As you're seeing right now, I am playing on a kind of volcanic island. I don't know what actually world this is, but you can see I'm shooting stormtroopers, and it's so much easier to see the stormtrooper than it is to see the rebels, because the rebels are obviously camouflaged a little bit better. In the Hoth battle, the Walker Assault, it's hard to see either or because we're all dressed in white, and it's harder to pick up the white on the white background. So it is nice to have that little yellow indicator, I guess, I don't know what to call it, to say, hey, you've hit your enemy, just kind of keep shooting here and see what happens. And it is pretty realistic. Like, there's a few times I would duck behind rocks and as I was being shot at, and I would duck below, and I wouldn't get hit anymore. But if I snuck up a little bit, they could get my head. Like, there's got to be enough head exposed like it would be in real life. Like, you can't just kind of shoot over somebody's head and hit them. It's actually dead on with the way the weaponry and lasers, because they're not bullets, are done in this. With the weapons, unlimited ammo, yes, but you have a recharge cycle that you go on. So if you just hold down shoot, like I do a lot, I don't play a lot of first-person shooters. But this reminds me probably a lot of like the Halo series, just because the sci-fi aspect of it. But if you just lay down on the trigger and just fire away, you will overheat your gun, and when you need it, it will not be available, which is good. It's what should happen, because obviously with lasers, there's no ammo involved. So I am a big fan that they do that, where it's kind of gives you not, I guess, resource management, but make sure that you don't do it all the time. But what's really cool is if you do overheat your gun, they have you push square on the PS4. I assume it's X on the Xbox, where you can cool it down quicker. So if you're in the heat of battle and you do accidentally do it, if you push square, it'll cool it down quicker. But at that point, obviously, you can't shoot. So let's talk a little bit about the game modes. There are 2 that are released in this beta that I played. Like I said, Walker Assault, and the one you're watching currently, which is Drop Zone. Drop Zone, basically the objective is to capture these life pods that fall from the sky. So it's you versus the Empire. What's really cool with this is those life pods, as far as I could tell, are pretty random. It doesn't favor one team versus another. I did play one game where it felt like they were all on the one side, but that could be just because we were losing and I wanted to get them on our sides to play better and hopefully win. But it is a cool concept because you capture these life pods. It takes a second to actually capture them, so you're scared staring at this thing, hoping nobody comes up behind you and shoots you. And then after that, you have to defend it for a certain amount of time. There's been a few matches that I played where a life pod would switch hands 4, 5, 6 times as wave after wave after wave would come in. You would think doing the same objective multiple times would get boring, but it really doesn't. I'm going to be completely honest with you there. I want to keep playing. Even after I probably finish editing this, I will go back to play this game because it's so much fun. It's very enjoyable. I can't wait to see kind of what the whole world is going to look like, just based on what I'm seeing here. But I played, I think, about 30 to 35 minutes on Drop Zone alone, just kind of getting the feel for it. If you are new, the game actually recommends that you start in Drop Zone versus the Walker Assaults. The reason being is in Walker Assaults, there's 20 versus 20, and I think the Drop Zone, I want to say, is 8v8, if I remember correctly. I believe those are the numbers. But with the Walker Assault, you kind of feel lost because it's such a big map. The Drop Zone is a very small map contained within a little area. What I really like is on the edge of the map, you can see on your mini map where the edge is with the red blocks, and I don't know if that's just because the beta, they're not going to open that up in the beta, or if it's just how the level is going to be. But I really do like the scale even outside of the edges of the map, that you can see further, and you can see like the world continues on even though you can't play out there. So I'm hoping for two things. One, that these maps can get potentially bigger as you go along. Obviously this is just the only map I can see for this mode. I'm sure there's other larger maps for it. But what I like about this map personally when I first jumped into it is the fact that it was big enough that you didn't keep getting shot at respawn, small enough that you could find people, and it's the perfect way to start this game. It gives you a chance to kind of learn the controls without having to be frenetically running all over the place. Lets you kind of get your head in the game, figure out what you need to do. And then from there, once you go from this mode to Drop Zone, when you go to Walker Assaults, it's a whole different ball game. When I first jumped into Walker Assault, I felt lost. When I went through and I was going to find kind of where the battle is, because that map is huge. It's Hoth. What Walker Assault is, if you don't know, is basically the Hoth battle. So you're either the Empire trying to destroy the, I think it's the shield generator, or you're the Rebel trying to knock out the Walkers and take them down. So that's cool and all. The map is huge, which is fun because there's things going on everywhere. But the problem I have with that is there's a few times where I would be going along and I would just get lost in the map. I wouldn't know where I was, and I kind of wander around without seeing anybody for a little bit, and then you just kind of follow the gunfire and make your way back. I don't know how to fix that because, again, I like having the big open map, but at times, like I said, it feels like you can get lost real easily. Let's talk everybody's favorite part of Star Wars Battlefront, freaking driving the vehicles. So you can see here, I just got a TIE Fighter Interceptor, and you're actually this is the footage of me learning how to fly. So one of the things I noticed right away is the left stick does absolutely nothing when I'm flying, which is crazy because you're used to left stick being kind of like steering your guy, whatever it may be, and right stick look around. Well, in this, the right stick does everything. It's all your maneuverability. The left stick didn't do up or down. It was literally all right stick based. You can see on the right-hand side of my screen here, I have R1, which lets me shoot like a bomb-like missile, and L1, which lets me do a little bit of a speeder concept thing, lets you go a little bit faster. So, this is the only vehicle I ended up being able to drive, but it was a little weird at first trying to get used to the controls. A little wonky. Once I got it, it was cool, and it's actually very, very smooth to fly. But the initial getting in and kind of like, hey, well, how do I do this? It took a minute to get used to, but it's a lot of fun being able to fly a vehicle. Let's be honest. I was just taking this and just flying around trying to get the speeder here. Ooh, I think I hit the AT-AT there. But I enjoyed flying it. I can't wait to fly the other vehicles around and see how they feel, if there's any difference between vehicles. But like I said, it was fine once I got used to it. It just was that initial, I'm going to say probably 15 seconds of me trying to go, whoa, this is weird. But once you figure it out, all is good in the world. Now let's talk power-ups. Power-ups are very similar to the vehicles, where they have these little things that pop up on the ground that you like holographic-looking things. You can see I just picked up a shield. And what's really cool that I found with the power-ups is when you die, you don't lose them. That, as dumb as that is, especially on freaking Walker assaults, I died a lot. You'll see here I have the shield. trying to take it down. I was dumb and didn't look, and Proper Dapper, I think's his name, came and destroyed me. But I come back, and I still have my shield. And like any smart person does, I go right back where I died, because, you know, that's what smart people do. But I deploy the shield, and what's really cool is this is actually the first power-up I think I used, and it puts this giant bubble around me where, like, nobody can get me. My teammates can use it. It's really nice, because I actually did it kind of nice where I was not near the thing we need to defend. I should have probably put a little bit further to the right now looking at it. But this is really cool, because I'm just contained in this bubble. Nothing can hit me, which makes it a lot of fun. So as soon as I step out of the bubble, though, I'm in trouble. Another power-up, and this is probably my personal favorite one so far in the game, is this freaking rocket launcher. Smart rockets. This lets you shoot enemy vehicles, whether it's a space vehicle, so you can see here I can shoot the TIE Fighter, or an AT-AT. But I learned while I had this, because I went to go and shoot the AT-AT, and I was like, cool, I'm going to go take this down and give it some damage here. But I learned that if the AT-AT has its shields up, it will not do anything. I had to wait for the AT-AT shields to go down. So you can see when I come around the corner here that the AT-AT, when I go to aim at it, it gives me a little red X, meaning I cannot hit it. But give it a second, and my guys do the objective where they take the link down, and then I'm able to come in and shoot him here. So wait for the Y-Wings to come in, and then I will be able to shoot this guy with my rocket launcher, because that is freaking amazing. So now when it says attack the walker, I was like, ooh, attack the walker, turn around, and now I can shoot it. You can see there's blue like electricity going on him saying he's vulnerable. So I go in and I attack him. I throw my thermal grenade at him. The rocket launcher is probably my personal favorite one so far, just because who doesn't like to carry a big gun. Another cool moment is when you just randomly have a Jedi come in, or a Sith. So I come in here, I grab the smart rocket, but all of a sudden, boom, Darth Vader decides to take me out, and he just prances off. I don't know how you become Darth Vader. I want to become a Jedi or a Sith at some point before the end of this beta. But you can see I respawn right next to Darth Vader, and he comes at me, and guess what? I killed Darth Vader. He is dead. I shot him a few times after he died to make sure he was dead, but I killed Darth Vader, got revenge. So it's kind of cool to know that these guys can kill you, but they're not impenetrable. If you hit them enough, they will go back, and that's very much a Battlefront thing where again, I don't know how you get them, but the fact that if these guys were super overpowered, it would be no fun for those of us who are still stormtroopers or who are rebel scouts to be able to kill them. So, verdict on the game. I was not going to pick it up initially, just because I think, in my opinion, it was overhyped at the Star Wars game. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I enjoy the series. I enjoyed the first two Battlefronts, but I'm like, kind of been there, done that. It is nice to see it. But after playing this beta, I think I will buy it because the potential that is there. Like I said before, I want to see the bigger maps. I want to see kind of how this becomes. And this game makes you feel like you're actually in a fight. Especially this Hoth battle right here. I don't know how they do it, other than my only complaint is the big open world, but I love it. I feel like I'm in Star Wars, and I've not had a game that makes me feel this engrossed in a world, especially a world that's tied into a movie or something, that it's done so well. Like I said, everything from the visuals to the audio to just pretty much everything is fantastic in this game. So I'm going to pick up probably the final version when it does come out. I'll probably take a look at it again to see what's been added. But I do recommend it if you haven't picked it up. It is going until, I believe, the 12th. October 12th is when the beta ends. So if you haven't, go ahead and get it. It's free. You can download it from the PlayStation Store. I was not able to find it on PSN. I had to do a Google search to find it. It's on Origin on PC. Or it is, I believe you have to do a Google search or a Bing search for it on Xbox One. I had a buddy of mine saying he couldn't find it, but he Googled it and they ended up finding a direct link to it. I'll also put all the links down below in the description for you guys so it's easier for you to find them. I'll put the direct links to all three, Origin, PS4, and Xbox One if you want to click that to download it. I highly recommend this game. If you haven't picked up the beta yet, just go ahead and do it. Like I said, it's till the 12th. All the links are down below. I'm making it easy for you guys to be able to find it. But it is one of the greatest games I think I've played in a long time that I'm going to probably spend hours in. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy this kind of first impression / review style of the beta. And also let me know in the comments what you guys think of the new Star Wars Battlefront. Is there something you wish it had that it doesn't? Obviously, this is the beta, so it won't have everything in it. But I really, and they've kind of said no, wish they bring back ship battles. That was one of my favorite parts of the first two Star Wars Battlefronts. But thanks again, guys, for watching. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit subscribe. And as always, welcome to the second level. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, we have some more PS4 playthroughs that you can check out above my head here. There's a link we've got to the playlist if you want to see every single PS4 playthrough we have ever done in the life of the channel. You can see some really old ones there too as well. So, thanks again, guys, and as always, Welcome to the second level.